Oh my gosh.
Not
Oh my
fetch.
god.
What's a brain
What's a
pop?
brain pop? Cute.
Sparkles.
Brain pop,
Darling.
brain pop, brain pop,
What
brain
is
pop,
that?
brain pop, brain
I don't
pop.
What's a brain
Everybody
pop?
shh. Oh, cool.
Brown is one of my favorite colors to wear. I actually got into brown a year or two ago. It is a part of my corporate color collection, which if you haven't noticed, a lot of the videos I've made over this series are part of the corporate color collection, specifically the last few. Each one demonstrates my own variation and style of preference, and it gives a new intake and perspective of how I like to dress and go out. The clothing was specifically picked out because of the color. I'm not too crazy about the dress that I wore. The dress in the video is Calvin Klein. I wanted to turn the dress backwards. So the front of it had that mesh side, or the mesh and tapered inside, and then the other side was plain, and then the back of it was the plain part that you saw in the video. So I was gonna wear that backwards and put that side in the back and then that in the front, but I ended up wearing it originally as is. I've worn that dress twice. I wore it to dinner and I've worn it in this video. The first time I wore it to dinner, I wore it backwards because I thought it was cuter that way, and I almost did it the second time. I almost did it the second time in this video. I'm glad I didn't, because I like the controversy in it. One side is plain and the other side is a little raunchy. I am very confident in my physical appearance, and filming this video helped me to realize that. One of my favorite shots in this video is when I have the bag dangling over the heel of my shoe. I thought about that randomly. I was thinking about poses to do on the floor. At first I was going to do some shoulder work or maybe some leg frames or just a wide body shot similar to Patrick Starr and his boots. But then I just kind of got creative and I put the bag on the bottom of the shoe and I said, holy crap, this actually looks really good. So I took the shot, and at first I was going to take a picture and post it separately, but I decided to keep it in the video and go as is. And I ended up loving the result of it. So the wardrobe itself was simple. I wanted to keep everything brown. The Louis bag was a hand-me-down from my mother. A lot of us, if not all of us, on the immediate side of my family have fortunately been gifted some form of a Louis Vuitton bag, and then I absolutely adore it more so now. So more than ever now, because of previous collections I've seen. I recently found out that Pharrell released a collection with Louis Vuitton a few months ago, and a lot of the colors and combinations in that fashion show tailor to my style now. And although I can't afford it at this time, I would love to get a trench coat I saw one of the models on the runway wearing. The shoes in this video were also hand-me-down to my mom as well. They are the only glitter shoes I have at this time, or sequins, in my closet. I don't have a lot of sequins at all, if any, because I've tried to avoid it. My mother is a big sequins person, and me being the complete opposite of that. I am very boring and plain. I may do a pattern or so, but it'll be something like this, or it may be anything but floral, sequins, and stripes. I'm not necessarily a stripe person. Although this is plaid, I can tolerate this more so because it's not one solid color. And the color combination is fitting and soothing enough for me to appealing to my eye and my taste buds in fashion. So this isn't that bad, but a solid stripe right across or vertical diagonal, I can't do it, and it's not my favorite thing, if not any of my favorites. I had a polka dot pair of heels, which was one of my first heels. Those were my practice heels that my mother got me when I first started to wear heels. And I loved and hated those shoes because they're your classic black and white red polka dots. And they were a good height to start practicing in. So I took two of the clothing items, two of the accessories that my mother gave me, and re-implemented them back into this video. And I called it closed captions because a lot of the time with my mom, who was a major inspiration of my fashion taste and my modesty now as an adult, we spent a lot of time watching TV together and movies. And a lot of the movies that we watched, she would turn on the closed captions because she would say there is such thing as mumble actors. A mumble actor in this house is when you hear the line or you hear them on screen, but you can't make out what they're saying. So hence why the closed captions on the TV, which is the black and white, standard captions on every TV is what we usually do when we watch it. Now on Netflix, Hulu, Max, Disney Plus, you have the opportunity to put on captions on your TV show. But on normal cable, prior to all these streaming services, that's what you had to do if you wanted to hear anything and if you wanted to read the captions. I'm a subtitles person myself because I love anime and I've been watching anime since I was a kid. So it's never really been much of a hassle or a bad thing for me. If anything, I feel as if reading subtitles and closed captions has made me a faster reader. I've been in English honors classes predominantly my whole life and now in my college years as well in the medical field. I like to read a lot. Prior to me being in the medical field, I was in a criminology position where I would read and post research papers and do countless hours of textbook work and studying and citing. So reading has been a part of my life for quite some time, and I feel as if because of my background with TV or maybe anime, that has played a part in it. I'm not too sure about that theory, but it's just something that I have food for thought and some of the inspiration behind the name today. The music selection for this video was fairly simple. I wanted to use classical music. However, this was another beautiful hand-picked recommendation from none other than Apple Music's Similar Play station. So as you all know, as mentioned, I said that Apple Music, when you finish an album, and let's say you go to the last song on your album that you're listening to right now, it's going to say autoplay similar music. So when you look under that, there's always going to be a few songs that they're going to autoplay or recommend that you may or may not like. And then it's up to you to add or disadd those songs to your library. I found the song that I posted on TikTok on the classical music app in the autoplay section. And I also saw it as an upcoming album that was coming out. So I listened to it, and that's where I found the lovely and talented composer and writer of the music that you heard in that video. That album has not yet been released yet and is scheduled to come out in October. So if you have the moment and you would like to, please look at the link in my description or in the comments below to see about that link and then get about what the time and what date and that music would be like for you. And hopefully you can get into it the same way I did. And if not, I hope it's a great recommendation to listen to at weddings, parties, celebrations, so on and so forth in the future. The poses as well came from spy movies. I couldn't help but think about when I held out the Louis Vuitton card that came with the bag, how secret transactions are done, and like Tom Cruise and 007. I couldn't help but just think about being how in every movie, like except John Wick, there's a pretty girl on the side. Like in Fast and Furious, there's always a girl that's with you or is doing something that is strong or knows how to fight or like knows how to play with guns and whatnot. And when I was filming that, I couldn't help but think about embodying that girl. That's also a lot of movies that me and my mom watch as well. We're very action packed in this house. If it's not anime, then it's action movies or maybe romance dramas and series. Back when a lot of those put things into place for me when I was filming this video, and it brought it all together nonetheless. So I took a lot of spy moves and action moves out of that, and I love what I came up with, and the results were wonderful to see. This includes the installment series of Inside the Brainpops. Thank you all so much for watching. As usual, stay safe and God bless, and I wish you all nothing but the best this holiday season. I want to take a moment this afternoon to come to you all who are coming into the holidays with a different perspective of how the end of the year is going to go. So around this time of year, particularly through October, right? Through really August to January, but October to January are some of the busiest and heaviest traveling times of the year You're visiting family, peers, a lot of airplanes, trains, Ubers are in place. This is also some of the most dangerous times of the year and some of the most memorable, nostalgic, and saddest for others. It's not always someone's happiest point. Christmas and Thanksgiving are not always celebrations for others. New Year's is not always a celebration. Sometimes people dread what the next month or the next day is going to bring. Sometimes people are depressed and want to hurt or physically harm others, let alone themselves. And it's tough. So, for the next 3 or 4 months throughout this holiday season, I want to send my prayers and my blessings to every last one of you at this time who are struggling or remembering someone who we've lost and are grieving and mourning. It may be years and years have come by and passed, but the wound is still fresh. It doesn't matter who or what it is or what's going on, or maybe it's you. I pray for you now in the mighty and powerful name of Jesus. To be healed, I deliver strength, blessings, prosperity, abundance, wisdom, knowledge, guidance, and peace into your lives as we come into this holiday season. For those of you who are going out for the holidays with your friends, this may be a time where you come back with no friends or the same people you went out with that night. I wish you all the best. For those of you who are graduating college and high school within the year, my congratulations to you for 2024 and the end of 2023. For those of you who are moving and starting new chapters of your lives, having kids, getting married, my congratulations to your love and your romance and your beautiful bundles of joy. Please remember that the holidays for everyone is different. It may not always be happy. It may not be sad. It may be frustrating and time-consuming. Make the best of it with your family or your peers or by yourselves. Again, I wish you all nothing but the best and happy holidays for everyone who's going out. Please stay safe on your flights, your Uber, your Lyft, your ride share, so on and so forth. Be careful, be smart, be safe, be happy, and God bless.